was kind of the reason that I enjoyed talking to you because I could see that you knew a lot, and I was sort of in some parts I was kind of like looking for answers about certain stuff. So then I would enjoy trying to understand your perspective and your opinions.
Hi everybody, I am back again with another student testimonial. Today we have Neha and she recently finished my 10-week storyboarding mentorship. So Neha, could you just, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what do you do, etc.
Yeah, I'm a professional storyboard artist from India. I've been working in the industry for a very short amount of time, but just started thanks to Raj's class and gaining experience with that, helping me with my portfolio.
Awesome, awesome. So Neha, you finished the class I think about like 2 weeks ago. So if you had to just give like a general overview of your experience to tell everybody, like what would you say it was like in the mentorship?
Um, it's really helpful to get specific advice. So whenever I would submit any kind of materials that I had done for the class, for the two assignments that we get in class, Raj would give me, you would give me super specific feedback about every single part of the process and take me step by step through through the particular piece. What about the story points, the acting points, the cinematography points, whatever I was lacking, just sort of helping me step it up bit by bit so that I could come up with something much better than before,
Yeah.
and just helping me round myself out wherever I was lacking.
And that kind of reminds me because the first time we had a consultation call, you were telling me that there's like this invisible gap between like improving your work and then you were like you don't know what it is. Would you say that we found that gap in the mentorship and were able to address it and to help you kind of like improve?
Okay. So I think that you definitely helped me address that invisible gap in my work because kind of knew where I wanted to go, and it was basically just a skills issue, and not just a skills issue, but a knowledge issue. Because whenever, generally, as a beginner artist, you look at all of the people who you look up to, and you want to do great work like them, you really want to get there, but you just don't know how. And because there's such a huge gap between you and them, you don't even know where to start. So
Yeah,
then you just either end up copying or you don't really even understand what you're doing. It's like trying to learn to read a book without knowing English. Like, it's
yeah, yeah,
really hard to actually get there.
yeah,
Yeah, so I think you definitely taught me
yeah.
the principles that, like, things I need to be looking for.
That's awesome. Yeah, because when I looked at your work, I was like, this person knows what they're doing. It's just like a few little things here and there that you just need to improve on, or like to know that you need improvement on. And I think once we found those things, and I just told you what to do, like you were able to like fix those things, right? So the next question I want to ask is, given the format of the mentorship, where there was a kind of formal theoretical section and then kind of like a practical where we kind of worked on your board. Was there anything in the theory part of the mentorship where you really enjoyed that one particular thing the most, or found out like it was the most helpful in the entire mentorship?
I think the first couple of classes where you were talking about story and character were almost the most helpful because it covered a lot of stuff that I already know, but I already knew, but you sort of put it in a different way to help me understand better and recontextualize it. And now if from that, I managed to create my own sort of ideas of how to go about putting a story together and developing it. So then I feel like even though creating a story is still like there's always going to be a struggle in putting something on a blank piece of paper, but now I have the sort of tools to approach it better
Yes, yes.
because I think the right words to understand something are very important.
Yeah, I remember the exact moment. I know you're talking about the personal hell exercise where we were just coming up with stories like literally on the spot. And you found it
Yeah.
easy to do it once you understood like what you had to do for that particular exercise. You came up with like an entire movie plot in like 30 seconds, and it was so easy to you, and you were like, wait, I just literally did that like out of like nowhere, and it was so easy. And you actually wanted to do like different ones. I just wanted you to do one, and you were like, "Oh, this is easy. Let's do like another one," And then you came up with a whole plot for
Yeah.
like another film. Yeah, so yeah, I could see why that would be your favorite part of the mentorship. The next question I want to ask you is, especially for the people who are watching this and they want to be storyboard artists and they're trying to find the best way to improve themselves. If you had to describe to the people out there who should take this mentorship, um, who would you tell them, like would be the perfect people to take this mentorship?
Honestly, anybody who just wants to be, who is serious about wanting to be a storyboard artist, because I think that you're pretty good at guiding people through whatever stage they're in, and you definitely have different resources and approaches for different kinds of people and whatever level they are at. So anybody who's serious and has maybe at least a little experience, like one or two,
Yeah.
even portfolio boards under the belt.
That's awesome. Yeah, I agree as well. And I've been asking you like, what is your favorite part about the mentorship? But I just want to say that I enjoy our little conversations after, the mentorship. Where we go. Sometimes we went to like an hour after just chatting about why anime tells story like this and why in animation tell a story like this, and we would have like these kind of discussions, and I think sometimes you would learn stuff in those random conversations.
Yeah, yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah.
That was kind of the reason that I enjoyed talking to you, because I could see that you knew a lot, and I was sort of in some parts I was kind of like looking for answers about certain stuff, so then I would enjoy trying to understand your perspective and your opinions.
Yeah, and it was really good to hear like your perspective, and because I don't really go too deep into anime, but your questions made me kind of go and like look for answers and stuff, and try to bring it back to you to give you like an answer and stuff. So it helps me to kind of learn more so I could teach more and stuff like that. So yeah, I just wanted to say like I always
Right.
love like having conversations outside of just like the formal format, because a learning does happen in those moments as well.
Mhm.
If people want to like see the work that you did in the mentorship or any of your portfolio or professional pieces, where can they find you on social media?
You can go to my LinkedIn, which is my name, or you can look at my Instagram bio where you'll find all the links to my portfolio, which is Nukas underscore stories. Or you can just look for my portfolio website, which is nehakakatkar.weebly.com.
Neha, thank you so much for taking the time to kind of share your experience with everyone. And for those watching, thank you for watching. And if you are interested in taking the mentorship, you could message me. We could talk about the different mentorships that I have. We can decide which one is the best one for you, no matter what level of storyboarding you are in, right? So thank you again, Neha, and thank you everyone for watching again. I'll see you in the next one.